Lisa Leslie has seen it all. 3 WNBA MVPs, 2 championships, a Hall of Fame career that spanned the league's darkest days and its brightest moments. She's watched legends come and go. She's watched the game evolve. But nothing prepared her for Caitlin Clark. The Clark effect isn't just about ticket sales or TV ratings anymore. It's about something deeper, something Leslie herself is calling amazing and outstanding. The conversation around women's basketball has changed completely, and Lisa Leslie is shocked by what she's witnessing.
So how do you feel in general?
I feel great. Super excited to be back here, and I think I have a great perspective on, camp and not taking anything for granted. Obviously, at this time last year was kind of going through some things, so more than anything, just really excited. I feel really healthy and feel like I put myself in a position to be as healthy as I can.
Lisa Leslie has been part of the WNBA conversation since before the league had a conversation. She was there in 1997 when the league tipped off for the first time. She was the face of the Los Angeles Sparks, the first player to dunk in a WNBA game, a 3-time MVP, a 2-time champion, a Hall of Famer. When she speaks, the basketball world listens. And lately, she's been speaking about Caitlin Clark a lot. Let me read you what Leslie said recently about the Fever's superstar, because her words are some of the most significant praise Clark has received from a legend of the game. Let me just say, Caitlin Clark has had an amazing impact on the WNBA, Leslie said in an interview. Her ability to come out and play, especially after her college season, and then to come into the WNBA and just really have the effect that she did, it was outstanding. I was so proud of Caitlin. Amazing impact, outstanding, so proud. Those aren't throwaway compliments. Those are the words of a woman who understands what it takes to build a league, who knows what it feels like to carry the weight of women's basketball on your shoulders. And she's saying that Caitlin Clark is doing something special. But Leslie didn't stop there. She also addressed the elephant in the room, the jealousy, the resentment, the veterans who seem unwilling to give Clark her flowers. We cannot deny what Clark has done for the women's game, Leslie said emphatically. I'm not going to act like it's something that we don't see. She's had a huge effect. It's called the Clark effect. If we have more eyeballs on the game and Clark brings that, why would we feel some kind of way? Why would we feel some kind of way? That's the question that cuts to the heart of the controversy surrounding Clark. Why are some players and former players so resistant to acknowledging her impact? Why does every compliment have to come with a caveat? Leslie isn't playing that game. She's calling it what it is, the Clark effect. And she's not afraid to say it out loud.
Lisa Leslie knows what it's like to be the face of the WNBA. She carried the league on her shoulders in the late 1990s and early 2000s, when arenas were half empty and the league's survival was never guaranteed. She fought for respect, she fought for recognition, she fought for the league to exist at all. So when she talks about Caitlin Clark's impact, she's not speaking from a place of jealousy or resentment. She's speaking from experience. I've seen the league grow, Leslie said. I've seen players come and go. I've seen moments that changed everything. But what Caitlin is doing, it's different. It's not just about basketball. It's about culture. Leslie explained that Clark's effect isn't just about selling tickets or drawing TV ratings. It's about changing the way people see women's basketball. There are people watching now who never watched before, she said. And they're not just watching, they're invested. They're buying jerseys, they're coming to games, they're having conversations about our league that never happened before. That's the Clark effect. But Leslie addressed something that other legends have been afraid to say out loud. The resistance to Clark is real, and it's hurting the league. We cannot deny what Clark has done for the women's game, Leslie said. I'm not going to act like it's something that we don't see. She's had a huge effect. She paused, then added, if we have more eyeballs on the game and Clark brings that, why would we feel some kind of way? That's the question. Why does Clark's success make some people uncomfortable? Why are former players and some current players so reluctant to give her credit? Leslie doesn't have an answer, but she's not afraid to ask the question. I'm proud of Caitlin, and I'm proud of what she's done for this league. Anyone who can't see that is missing the point. For a legend like Lisa Leslie to speak so plainly about Clark's impact and to call out the resistance without naming names is significant. She's not just praising Clark, she's challenging the league to do better.
Lisa Leslie's comments have ignited a new wave of discussion about Caitlin Clark, not just about her talent, but about her place in WNBA history. And the conversation is shifted. Let me explain what I mean. A year ago, the debate around Clark was about whether she could succeed in the WNBA. Skeptics pointed to her defense, her turnovers, her physical limitations. They said she'd struggle against bigger, stronger, more athletic opponents. Clark answered those questions. She made all WNBA first team as a rookie. She led the league in scoring when she played. She proved she belonged. Then the debate shifted. It became about whether Clark was the best player in the league. Comparisons to Asia Wilson, debates about offense versus defense, arguments about championships versus individual accolades. Now the debate has shifted again. Thanks to voices like Lisa Leslie, the conversation is no longer about whether Clark is good enough. It's about whether the WNBA is good enough for her. We cannot deny what Clark has done for the women's game, Leslie said. That's not a compliment. That's a challenge. Leslie is saying, stop resisting, stop gatekeeping, stop making excuses, acknowledge what's happening in front of you. And fans are listening. Lisa Leslie just said what a lot of us have been thinking, one fan wrote. The WNBA has a generational talent. Instead of protecting her and celebrating her, they're letting her get bullied. That's a bad look. Another posted, when a legend like Lisa Leslie speaks, you listen. She's not a casual fan. She's not a Clark stan. She's a Hall of Famer who knows the game, and she's saying the league needs to do better. The conversation is changed because legends like Leslie are refusing to stay silent. They're not attacking Clark's critics directly. They're not naming names, but they're asking questions that make the league uncomfortable. Why would we feel some kind of way? That's not a rhetorical question anymore. It's an indictment, and the WNBA is going to have to answer it.
Lisa Leslie understands something that many other WNBA legends don't. The league's survival depends on stars. Let me explain. When Leslie entered the WNBA in 1997, the league was new. Arenas were half empty. Sponsors were scarce. Players worked second jobs just to make ends meet. The stars, Leslie, Cynthia Cooper, Cheryl Swoops, Rebecca Lobo, carried the league on their backs. They were the reason anyone watched. They were the reason the league survived. Leslie never forgot that. Now, nearly 30 years later, the WNBA has another star. A star who is doing for this generation what Leslie did for hers. Bringing eyes to the league, filling arenas, making the WNBA relevant. And Leslie sees it clearly. If we have more eyeballs on the game and Clark brings that, why would we feel some kind of way? That's not just a question, it's a lesson. A lesson about gratitude, about recognizing that stars are not threats, they're assets. About understanding that a rising tide lifts all boats. I'm not going to act like it's something that we don't see, Leslie said. She sees it. She's always seen it, because she lived it. Other legends, the ones who nod along when Clark's fans are dismissed, the ones who stay silent when the league fails to protect its biggest star, they should be taking notes. Because without stars, there is no league. Without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA is right back where it started. Leslie understands that. The question is, why don't others?
So where does this leave us? Lisa Leslie, a 3-time MVP, a 2-time champion, a Hall of Famer who has seen the WNBA through its darkest days, is shocked. Not by Caitlin Clark's talent, by the conversation around her. We cannot deny what Clark has done for the women's game, Leslie said. I'm not going to act like it's something that we don't see. She's had a huge effect. It's called the Clark effect. Leslie isn't just praising Clark. She's challenging the league, challenging the players, challenging the fans. If we have more eyeballs on the game and Clark brings that, why would we feel some kind of way? Why indeed?
The conversation around Caitlin Clark has changed. It's no longer about whether she's good enough. It's about whether the WNBA is good enough for her. And legends like Lisa Leslie are refusing to stay silent. "I'm proud of Caitlin," Leslie said, "and I'm proud of what she's done for this league. Anyone who can't see that is missing the point." So what comes next? The season will start. Caitlin will play. The debates will continue. But the conversation has shifted. Thanks to Leslie, more people are asking the right questions. More people are recognizing the Clark effect for what it is, a rising tide that lifts all boats. Leslie understands that stars built this league. Stars sustained this league. Stars will carry this league into the future. Caitlin Clark is that star, and Lisa Leslie is proud of her. That's not just a compliment, that's a passing of the torch, and the WNBA would be wise to pay attention. So here's what I need from you. If you made it to the end of this video, you just watched a legend acknowledge greatness. Lisa Leslie has seen it all. 3 MVPs, 2 championships, the league's birth and its growth. And she's saying Caitlin Clark is different. The Clark effect is real. The conversation has changed, and Leslie is proud. Subscribe, hit that bell icon, because when the season starts and Clark continues to rewrite history, you're going to want to be here to watch it happen. The legend spoke, the conversation shifted. Now the league has to catch up. I'll see you in the next one.